All right, so I want to give you a little bit more specifics on what is going on with your shoulder. So if you see here, this is the right shoulder. So this is the opposite of the shoulder that is affecting you, but you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. So your shoulder blade is supposed to move up to about 60 degrees, which is about yay much.
Okay.
And what happens is that is going to allow for nice space up through here. So the arm bone, which is we call the humerus, comes into the socket here, can move freely.
Okay.
So if you can see how this would affect, you go ahead and slump your shoulders forward and then lift your good arm up and see how high you can go. Right? So you see by slumping your shoulders, you're affecting the space between here.
Yeah.
So if you sit up nice and tall, lift your arm up here.
Okay.
You see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not just going to be addressing this shoulder joint. There are a lot of other joints that are involved that are going to work on improving your posture to get you sit up nice and taller so that when you go to lift your arm. And so what I'm going to do is I want to write down on this plan of care, this is going to be for you to take home with you.
Okay.
What it is, and I'm just going to put here, you just have a decreased range of motion in the left shoulder, and range of motion is just how much you can move it.
Okay.
And then also, when I did your evaluation, I noticed that some of the joints weren't working as well as they should. So I'm going to write here that your collarbone is not dipping down as much as it should.
Okay.
And what I find too is the reason I write this down and have the patient take it home is because a lot of times I have people come to me the next visit and they're like, well, I went home to try to tell my husband what's going on with me and I couldn't remember anything that you said.
Yeah.
So this is just to give you an idea of what's going on with you so that you can actually like tell your story in your head, like this is exactly, and the more visual that you have, the better it is.
Okay.
And then if someone asks you what's wrong with you, you can be like, well, this is wrong.
This here, right?
Yeah, this year, exactly. So, and I'm gonna put here, poor shoulder mechanics. Okay, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, and this, how my therapist is gonna help me, this is how I'm gonna help you and what we're gonna do for you. So I'm gonna put down here massage, because we are gonna do some massage to the shoulder, the muscles around the shoulder to try to decrease some of those painful areas and the guarding that's happening when you have pain. We're gonna do what we call joint mobilization.
Okay.
And that's when we actually move the joints that are stiff to get them to move better.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put here strengthening exercises. So strengthening the exercise not just around your shoulder, but around the whole area to work on improved posture as well.
Okay.
And we discussed the frequency. So this is what you're committing to 3 times a week for 4 weeks. And the time you're gonna be here is probably gonna be maybe 60 to 70 minutes. So maybe an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
It does, I can make that work.
Okay, good. Home exercises, I'm gonna give you a printout of what we discussed already. And so no diagnostics are prescribed because you already came in with your MRI, and your goal is to be able to lift your child pain-free.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this goal, we're gonna keep this in mind every time you come in.
Okay.
So, and this just says I agree to the above treatment and give my consent to begin treatment. And if any changes in your condition occur, that you understand that your treatment plan may change as needed. So, if you come in 2 or 3 weeks and you have no pain and you're feeling great, we might decrease your frequency, and vice versa. If you're having a really bad week where you're flared up, we might have you come in more times than prescribed.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right, so I'm gonna have you go ahead and sign that. And then I'm gonna take you up to the front so we can meet with the receptionist and get you scheduled for those visits. All right, thank you.